You ever like find yourself reaching for that same brand even when there's a cheaper option right there?
Hmm. Yeah.
Like I'm thinking tools, that one specific wrench,
Okay.
that's me, but with my coffee grinder. Like I did all the research, read all the reviews, and honestly, it's kind of changed my whole morning routine.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking, why are some of us, even in our personal lives, drawn to certain BB brands? We don't even realize it.
Right.
And even more important, what makes certain brands really stand out in the business to business world?
It's such a good question. And you know what I think it reveals? It's about how we think about value. When you're talking B2B, it's not jingles or flashy ads. It's about trust and expertise, speaking to what those business buyers need.
Totally. Because a mechanic, right, choosing a wrench, that's totally different than me picking out a coffee grinder, even if we both end up going for a brand name. So, how do you even define B2B branding? Is it really that different from appealing to like everyday consumers?
It's a whole different game. B2B branding, it's about creating an identity and a value proposition that really clicks with other businesses,
Yeah.
showing you get their problems, their goals, and how you fit into that.
So, less about, say, lifestyle, more about those results.
Exactly. Now, don't get me wrong, emotions are still there in B2B, but you have to lead with functionality, that clear value.
Yeah.
Take one of the core functions of a B2B brand. It's going to increase information efficiency. Imagine you're a purchasing manager. You've got a mountain of options, software, hardware, materials, you name it. A strong B2B brand cuts through all that and says, this is quality, this is reliable.
Makes sense, especially now. It's a global market, time is money, right?
Exactly.
And I'd imagine reducing risk is a big deal in B2B too, yes.
Huge. These are big financial decisions. A wrong move can really hurt. That's where a strong B2B brand comes in, showing a history of performance, reliability, deep knowledge in their industry.
It's like my mechanic friend who has that one wrench brand. He's not going to risk his work with something he doesn't trust.
Exactly. And just like consumer brands, B2B impacts image, reputation.
Oh, interesting.
This pride for employees,
Yeah.
credibility for investors. It even helps you attract the best talent.
So even if the average person isn't thinking B2B branding, it's super important, maybe even more now than ever.
Absolutely. More competition, globalization, tons of information online. A strong B2B brand helps you stand out, build that preference. Actually, the source material had a great example, Tata Steel.
Steel, like the actual metal, how do you brand that?
Right, it's fascinating. Tata Steel, they're an Indian company. They realized even in a market like that, branding matters.
Okay, now I'm really interested. How do you take something like steel and make it a brand that pops? What's the secret?
Great question, and goes right into the benefits of nailing your B2B brand. You see, Tata Steel knew that.
Even with a product like steel, if you have a strong brand, you can charge more. They weren't just selling the steel itself, it was the quality, the consistency. They were even selling sustainability, and that really connected with their buyers.
Exactly. Premium pricing, it's one of the biggest advantages when you have a strong B2B brand. When buyers trust you, they'll pay more because they see it as less risky. Think about it. Would you trust some random software company with your company's data? Or would you go with a known name, maybe like Salesforce? They've got the track record, the brand everyone knows is reliable.
Right. It's more than just the software, then. It's the security, the peace of mind. You're working with someone who wants you to succeed.
You got it. And it's not even just about charging more. A strong brand helps you sell more, period. If people recognize you, trust you, they'll come to you. It fuels your growth. Like Caterpillar, FedEx, Intel, even Samsung, Siemens. These names mean quality, innovation, and they dominate their markets because of it.
So true. Seeing a FedEx truck, I don't think delivery truck. I think, okay, that's going to get there fast, reliably.
See, that's B2B branding in action. It's about owning that space in the customer's mind. Your name means something good to them. And let's not forget about loyalty. B2B, it's all about relationships. A strong brand builds trust, and trust keeps those customers coming back.
It's my mechanic friend with his wrenches all over again. Years of trusting that one brand, he's not switching anytime soon. But let's flip this. What if you don't focus on your B2B branding? What happens then? What if you just don't tell your story?
Things get real interesting then.
Hmm.
Actually, the source material, it has a story about that shot sarin.
Okay.
So they were the ones who came up with those glass ceramic cooktops, right?
Yeah.
Big deal at the time. Totally new. But they didn't protect their brand name well enough.
Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going.
Sarin became the generic term for any glass stovetop. They were so successful it backfired. People knew the tech, but not the company behind it.
Ouch. Talk about a lesson in why branding matters. So anyone listening who's thinking, okay, how do I build brand then? Where do you even start?
First step, and this is huge, know your audience.
Yeah.
Like really know them. Just like selling to regular people, you got to get B2B customers. But it's not just one person. It's the whole business, their needs, what their problems are, even what's happening in their industry that keeps them up at night.
So no easy answers here. It's got to be tailored to each business you're targeting.
You got it. Once you're clear on who they are, then you can build your strategy, your mission, values, what makes you unique, what do you offer that matters to them.
It's about that perfect match, your strengths and what they need, right? But then you got to be consistent. Yeah. Best strategy in the world won't work if it's not everywhere.
100%. Website, marketing stuff,
Yeah.
even how your employees answer the phone, got to be on brand every time.
So it's everyone's job, not just the marketing team. Everyone lives the brand. Actually, I read that employees who feel that connection to their company's brand, they're more productive, more invested.
Exactly. And a great example, Canon. They're known for being easy to use, great customer service. That goes all the way to their repair people.
No way, really.
Yeah. Canon, they make their repair people wear a white shirt and tie when they go out to fix stuff.
Yeah.
Small thing, but it says professional, reliable, we care about you, all in one.
The little things. It's about the whole experience, not just the product. But we're in the digital age now. How are B2B brands adapting to that?
Good question. And honestly, that deserves its own deep dive someday. But one of the big things is digital marketing. You got to master that.
Oh, for sure. A website isn't enough anymore. You need that good content. You got to be on social media. Build those relationships online, too.
Yep. B2B buyers, they do their research now. They go online to find you, learn about you, even talk to you. Content marketing is key. Don't interrupt them with ads. Give them something useful, something that helps them. Then they see you as someone they can trust to help them succeed.
It's like that saying, nobody cares what you know until they know that you care. Right.
So true. And because things change so fast these days, B2B brands got to be flexible, ready to adjust.
So you can't just coast on what worked before. Got to be listening to what customers say, what's happening in the market.
It never stops.
Yeah.
You're always evolving, and the best B2B brands, they get that. But you know what's really interesting? It's this idea of love marks, but in B2B.
Love marks. I thought that was for those big consumer brands, the ones people are like obsessed with. Apple, Nike, does that even exist in B2B?
It totally does. Think
Really?
AMD, Caterpillar, even IBM. They've gone beyond just regular loyalty. People are passionate about their products, their services, even the company itself.
Wow, that's wild. So it's not just a computer chip or a bulldozer anymore. You're buying into something bigger, their whole philosophy.
Exactly. That emotional connection, it's powerful. Even in B2B, we're all human. We have emotions, values.
This is so insightful. We've only scratched the surface of where B2B branding is going.
Oh, we could talk for hours, but got to be mindful of everyone's time.
Right. So as we wrap this up, what's the one big thing we want people to walk away with? If we had to pick just one thing about B2B branding, what should people keep in mind when they're back to their desks dealing with all the, everyday stuff?
You know what? It's so simple, but it's listen. Really listen to your customers.
Okay.
What's the struggle? What keeps them up at night? Not just the surface stuff, but what they really need, even if they don't say it.
Digging deeper beyond the data.
Exactly. And don't forget about your own people, your employees. They're talking to customers all day. They know what's working, what's not. That's gold.
It's like building that culture of listening everywhere, right? So you can change with the times, make your brand mean something.
Yes. B2B branding, it's not about yelling your message. It's that back and forth. You build those relationships, that trust.
Now, as we wrap up this whole deep dive, it seems like B2B branding, it's not just some marketing thing. It's vital for any business that wants to win.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
A strong brand gets you those higher prices, the loyal customers, and it helps you roll with the punches when things change. You're not just known, you're loved. That's what makes people excited about your brand.
So to everyone listening, pay attention, be curious, and don't underestimate what a good B2B brand can do. It could be what sets you apart, what takes you to that next level.